My name is Jeremy Beruce, and my mother actually immigrated from Poland. She was actually a war refugee with my grandparents who were displaced. They were actually ran out of Poland from the Nazi invasion in the late 40s, and they actually traveled by boat here to the United States. So my grandparents, they found work, as landscapers here in the Silicon Valley area, and they just wanted to be part of the American dream. They watching TV like Bonanza and those shows of the 50s and 60s, they kind of saw what the American family, what the family dream, what the American dream embodied, and they worked so hard to bring that to their children and then eventually their grandchildren. My mother too, coming here as a young girl, always wanted to just fit in, be part of the American melting pot, and wanted so much to raise my brother and I to be as much to the American dream. She always told us to study hard and go to school so we have some opportunities that she didn't have. I also spent a lot of time with my grandmother, who, she voted in a few elections, and being able to vote, having the opportunity, something she would never had in her country, it just really, she was so proud to have voted, to have taken part in the American political process. Back in Poland, was during the late 30s and most of the 40s, was a lot of tension with a lot of the wars going on in Eastern Europe. We had the invasion of the Nazi party into Poland, and my grandparents were ran out and thrown into in a labor camp for several years, and that's where they had my mother. It was very hard, and my grandmother was actually taken from her home at the age of 16, so she never saw her family again. That was the last she's seen of her family, and it's just really hard time. And she does share, like my brother and I, we complain, when we have to do chores or when things get tough. But she said, you never knew how bad I had it. I had it a lot worse. So I think, my brother and I, we had that upbringing, that we have that part of us that's really strong, and she had that real strong, that strong, like, inner thing about her. She just couldn't shake off. It's just always something that she carried with her the rest of her life. So very hard times, displaced in a refugee camp, and they fled by boat here to the United States, and they were helped by some churches here in the Bay Area, predominantly Oakland and San Francisco, actually sponsored them to come out to the United States. So they actually got hooked up with some jobs doing some farming, and like a lot of the our like the Latino and some Asian Americans who spent time with the in the Central Valley doing the farm workers, doing the picking and stuff like that. They were right there along with those immigrants. So they spent some time there, and they were actually given a home by the farm owner right there on the property to while they work, they had a place right there on their property, so they were able to work 12 to 14 hours a day and just stay right there. And like I said, they wanted to just provide for their children. They had a few more children, and and they just wanted to just have that part of American dream to one day own a home, see their children or their grandchildren go to college. So 2 generations later, my brother and I walked across the stage at San Jose State University, the first one in our family to obtain a degree. So it's a really special feeling for for my grandmother and my mother. They always told us to study hard and to play by the rules and to do your fair share, and you'll be able to get a good job and have some dignity and raise your own family.